I want to welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us for the celebration. It's been a remarkable year. We started the 2020 campaign almost 12 months ago, knowing that we needed to constructively disrupt the standard campaign formula to meet the heightened needs in our community. And then who would have guessed? COVID-19 hit and it changed everything. Overnight, all of our worlds changed. The environment for our organizations, our families, everything changed. And what also happened was the needs in the community spiked in a way none of us anticipated, went up dramatically. And we had to rally together to find ways to run this campaign virtually. I mean, all of us that have been through campaigns for years know we have in organization events, we're blessed with the ability to have United Way come in and talk about all the amazing things they do. That couldn't happen this year. And so while the needs were spiking, the campaign way that we knew for years had to change. But thanks to everyone on this call tonight and many others who generously stepped up, you all have collectively helped us generate $50 million for United Way and met the campaign goal in a year that all of us would have said would have been extraordinarily difficult. It's a demonstration of the power of United Way and how the United Way can aggregate the impact and do something that none of us individually could do, and frankly, even small groups can't do. It's also an example, and it's one of the things that I believe very strongly, that when you get a diverse group of people together, you get ideas that not a single one of you would have come up individually. But together, we're able to accomplish things we didn't think were possible. We had a diverse group, whether it was the vice chair group, whether it was the campaign cabinet, or all the people we called on to help. And what happened was, things that we didn't think came true. So I want to thank and congratulate everyone, the vice chairs, the cabinet, the team at United Way, the United Way board, our agency partners, our corporate partners, all the many grantees that gave money, time, or helped in any way, and all the many, many individual donors. This group truly, truly lives for the community and is committed to making Greater Cincinnati an even better place for everybody. Many of us that gave are able to live in very comfortable environments, but many others in the community were faced with some difficult choices. And many of them were faced with living through COVID and their family, their friends. It impacted their jobs, their lives. And they depended on the United Way agency to help them through this. So let me hand things over to my partner in this campaign, Maura Weir, who stepped in as the CEO of United Way at just an incredibly important time. If it wasn't for her work and the work of the United Way staff, working with all of you, we wouldn't have been able to accomplish this. So let me turn it over to Maura.
Thank you, David, and really thank you and all of the vice chairs, the co-chairs, the cabinet. Really, without all of you, we would not have been able to make any of this happen. It's just been a tremendous experience to come together, and you never shied away from when we had to ask you to go virtually. You were like all in, and we just couldn't appreciate that more. I also would like to thank particularly the Procter & Gamble team, because so many of your colleagues and team players spent so much of their time. They gave their talent. They really taught us a lot and really helped us learn. And so we are grateful, and we're going to take all these great learnings and continue to implement them. And it really is with a lot of hope and gratitude that we do this. And I also want to thank all of you that are here tonight. I mean, really, I won't go over all the folks that David acknowledged, but because of all of you being here and being so committed to our community, we were really able to accomplish what many thought was going to be impossible. And we proved that we could do it. So I'm really grateful. And I would also like to thank David in particular for his amazing kindness, his strategic thinking, his positive energy, always so positive and really challenging us. He has a great saying that I'm going to say, to step up and step forward. And he said that often to us, and it really, energized us. So thank you. And it was really an honor for me in this role as I transitioned to have the opportunity to work with you. So thank you. I also want to thank all the staff at United Way and the provider. I mean, they just did an amazing job coming together. So really, it took a group effort. And of course, the board was amazing in terms of how they helped us. And this was my first campaign. So I was going to say every year is going to be like this, right? So, but really, I want to thank again for everybody for being here. Sadly, we knew this campaign was needed now more than ever. The community needs were great. We saw families lose everything overnight. It was tragic. And we knew that we had to respond really quickly. And one thing that's sad about this is that safety net that was there for so long just evaporated. If you can imagine, families lost everything overnight and people were frightened and they were scared. But really, and at the same time, we saw social service organizations, experience more and more people coming to them 2 or 3 times, sometimes 5 times more traffic than they experienced before. And we came to the community and we said, can you please help us? Can you help us? And you responded quickly. We asked you and you said yes. And we did this together. And we did this united. We rallied together. We worked long hours together. We forged new partnerships. And again, we were always united. We saw our faith-based community come together and do a first ever campaign. It was so exciting. We saw non-traditional organizations come that had never partnered with us before. And again, we joined arm in arm and we were united. We saw government entities come to us. We saw business groups come to us and really help us through leadership and guidance. And again, we came together as a community united. And I keep saying united because I really believe that's important, particularly now as we think about our community. I was thinking back, I think I gave over 100 presentations and it was so exciting because I got to meet so many of you and I was just so honored that people let me come into their businesses, their organizations to talk about the need and explain how desperately we need everybody. So for that, I'm extremely grateful and positive and very much appreciative. And what we know is people want to be a part of the solution and you were all part of the solution. We came together and we thought of positive things that we can do as a community. And again, it was just amazing. And so you advocated, you volunteered, you gave. And those are really the core tenements of the United Way. And again, bringing the community together to do all those things. And then you showed that United is the way for a better community. So our neighbors, our communities are better off because of everything that you did. So thank you, thank you. Now I'd like to spend a little bit of a moment talking about somebody else who's been really amazing. And that's the United Way's board chair, Steve Shifman. He has just been an amazing leader. He's been so helpful to me as I've transitioned into this role. And I say he's probably one of the best volunteers. You ask Steve to do something, he does it quickly, quietly, generously, and he is always compassionate about it. And he challenges all of us to do better and really challenges me to stretch myself. So we are just so fortunate and grateful for his leadership at a time that was difficult. He took this role at a time that was very difficult. So Steve, thank you for everything. And I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, Moira. That was incredibly kind of you. And I must say it's an incredible privilege to be the board chair of United Way at this particular moment in time. I've had the opportunity over the years to do a lot of community work, and this is perhaps the most challenging, but the most rewarding and candidly the most necessary at this particular time. My theme in the brief couple of minutes I have with you all is one of gratitude. And I want to begin with gratitude for my friend Moira. Who would have thought, Moira, about a year ago when our search committee was working very hard to try to encourage you to join our United Way, and when you finally said yes, that you'd be saying yes and joining us in the face of a combination of both a pandemic and then the economic challenges brought upon by the pandemic and the increasing conversation, dialogue, and challenges around race in our community. And all of this happened at one time. And Moira stepped into the fray and took on this leadership challenge. And we thought we had the right person when our committee brought Moira in to become our next CEO. But you never know until challenged what somebody is up to. We thought we had a woman of vision, of passion, of commitment. And boy, have we found out that she's all of the above. And sometimes in life, you get it right. And my colleagues and I on the search committee and our whole community got this one right. So Moira, we're incredibly grateful for you. On behalf of our board and our community, I thank you for your passion, your vision, your commitment and leadership, and for the incredible team that you are building and leading at the United Way. Thank you very much. And thank you, of course, for your friendship. Mr. Taylor, David, there could not have been a better leader for the time, and talk about getting lucky at the right time. You had hundreds of reasons to say no when our good friend John Pepper on our behalf approached you to consider chairing our campaign this year, but you're not wired to say no. You said yes. And man, never has a community needed leadership like yours at a time like we have gotten it over the past year. As we heard from Moira, and as we all know from experience, David leads with integrity, with intelligence, with humor, with commitment, with passion. David, you've been a tremendous leader for our community and our campaign. Thank you. David also, of course, brought a tremendous Procter & Gamble organization alongside of him, and a lot of unsung P&G heroes did tremendous work throughout the course of this past campaign. And we can't thank you enough for your leadership, but also for your organization's commitment and leadership. My board at the United Way is tremendous, and I want to start with my board vice chair, our board vice chair, I should say, and my successor in about a year's time, Barbara Turner, also had a lot of reasons to say no when asked. Barbara, congratulations on your new role as the CEO of Ohio National. But Barbara, of course, also is wired to say yes. And Barbara has been a tremendous partner to me and to Moira. She will be a great leader of our United Way. She is a good coach and mentor to me. Our whole United Way board is phenomenal. A lot of incredibly committed community volunteers who are really actively engaged in the work of our United Way. Our United Way team is tremendous. Tanya, you and the whole campaign staff are remarkable. The entire United Way organization, these are people who they don't do this as a job. This is a commitment. This is a passion for them. Serving our neighbors, taking care of our citizens, being a part of our community is what get these people up every morning early and keep them working very late. So thank you to our entire United Way staff and team. And finally, to all of you on this call, our United Way is not just our board, our organization, but it's really our entire community. It's everybody on this call who gave, who put in time, who advocated, as Moira said. This is the right organization at the right time, and I am so very grateful for all of you for what you have done to make our community better. We are the United Way, and together we live united. So I'm grateful for you all. Thank you. And with that, I have the privilege of turning this over to Chandra Matthews-Smith. It is all yours, my friend.
Thank you, Steve. And we are very fortunate to have your leadership in more ways than one. And shortly, I will talk about a special group of employers, and your team is on my list. Hello, everyone. I am so glad to be here. This is my first campaign too, and I just love the energy. You all have been so wonderful to us this year. We're going to talk in a second about all the businesses that so generously gave to get us to 50 million. But before we do, I want to talk about a couple of other things. First is that giving takes on many forms. While we are fortunate, many in this community give of their treasure. We are also very, very thankful that many give of their time and their talent. I have a couple of people who work with me, Laura Wells and Taylene Cassidy, who help lead, organize, and support the many volunteers in our region who want to make a difference in their community. Most work at businesses such as yours, and they wouldn't be able to spend the time pouring their heart and soul into volunteering if they weren't supported by their employers. We are here today to celebrate some of those employers. We want to call out some of the businesses that stood out for supporting their employees in their volunteer efforts. We call them corporate heroes. And 5 in particular stood out this year, and they are US Bank, for companies with more than 750 employees. Engaged Partners, for companies with 10 to 99 employees. Michelman, for companies with 100 to 249 employees. And tying in that 100 to 249 employee category is Graydon Law Firm. And EY, winning in the category of 250 to 749 employees. EY has maintained the winning status for all 6 years of this competition. Thank you all. These companies earned 2020 Corporate Hero Awards for United Way of Greater Cincinnati for embracing volunteer engagement and providing opportunities for team members to get involved in their community. Employees at the companies volunteered for more hours per capita than others their size in United Way's annual Corporate Heroes competition. I told you we would get back to Steve Shifman. That is his team at Michelman. Again, thank you, Steve. Now, before I go, there's one more thing. While we are recognizing businesses, we also wanted to call out that we had our first ever Faith Leaders Campaign this year, as Maura mentioned earlier in her comments. Many churches and other faith groups in our community stepped forward to help United Way and their neighbors. We are very fortunate to have new groups engaging us and saying they want to be part of the United Way family. I'd just like to call out some of our biggest supporters. Jarrell Baptist Church in the West End of Cincinnati under the leadership of Pastor Johannan Tate. Madison Avenue Christian Church in Northern Kentucky, where Pastor Simon leads that congregation. Legacy Point Church, Pastor Paul Booth Jr. He serves the Kennedy Heights, Pleasant Ridge, and Silverton areas. Zion Global Ministries, led by Pastor Freddie Pifus and Pastor Kenneth Webb, serving Walnut Hills and Northern Kentucky. Corinthian Baptist Church, where Pastor KZ Smith serves the Bond Hill and Avondale areas. And they are just a few of our new friends, and we are grateful for each of you. So now, thank you all for your time. Let me pass it off to my colleague, Tanya Cornejo, to talk about the wonderful work you all did on our behalf this year. Thank you. Tanya?
Thank you so much, Chandra. Hi, everyone. I'm going to make it 3 for 3. This is my first campaign as well, and I could not be happier with the results and all the wonderful support we received. I'm going to talk a little bit about the very successful corporate campaigns you all worked on in a second, but first I want to thank our corporate sponsors. It's an evening of celebration and recognition of all the individuals and companies in our community who have offered their support to help our neighbors at a time when they needed it the most. And so I would like to recognize our 2020 Donor Network corporate sponsors for their gracious gifts to our work and to our community. First, I would like to thank UC Health for their sponsorship of our Tocqueville Society First Tuesday series. Additionally, a big thank you to the premier sponsor for our Women United Network, Western and Southern, who is joined by US Bank as a featured sponsor to the network. It is because of these companies' support that we are able to hold engaging and informative donor events like tonight's celebration. And speaking of the celebration, it is made possible thank you to the generous support of Delta Airlines, and we cannot thank them enough for their generosity. I would actually like to bring up a video from James Danner, General Manager of Delta Operations at the CVG Airport, who would like to share a special message with all of you this evening. So let's go ahead and hear from James.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Airlines, I welcome each of you to United Way of Greater Cincinnati annual campaign celebration. My name is James Danner, and I serve as Delta's General Manager of Operations over the Cincinnati region. Delta is honored to be a sponsor of tonight's event with a charitable contribution to United Way of Greater Cincinnati. Delta has been a partner with United Way for over 30 years now. At Delta, we believe we have a civic obligation to give back to the communities where we live, work, and serve. And we are honored to partner with United Way to advance the health, education, and financial stability of people in Cincinnati and beyond. United Way of Greater Cincinnati carries out their mission by finding new solutions to old problems, mobilizing the best resources, and inspiring individuals to join the fight. As an airline, these words have never been more relevant than today. At Delta, we're proud to partner with an organization that shares our values and understands the path we're on to create positive change in the world. We hope each of you will be inspired to help by giving tonight, and we hope you will look to Delta for your future travel needs.
Thank you so much, James. And again, thank you, Delta, for your wonderful support. We love Delta. We also love our new corporate partners. We have several new local employers who have joined the United Way family this year. Here are some of the businesses that decided to step up for their neighbors in 2020. We are just so excited by their passion and commitment. So thank you and welcome to the United Way family. Up next, we have our Tremendous 25. These are businesses, both big and small, that really live united for their community, and they are the highest givers per capita. I know these employers must be so passionate about our work to continue sharing our message with their employees and inviting them to participate at such wonderful levels. We are so grateful. All right, here 25 through 21. I'll clap. I know you're all clapping at your home or office. 20 through 16. 15 through 11. Congratulations, everyone. This is so exciting. 10 through 6. And the last top 5. Now this is really exciting because Katz Teller once again joins us as our #1 Tremendous 25. So thank you so much for your loyal support. We are so happy to partner with you. All right, now we're up to the top 25. So these are the top campaigns that really make our campaign. More than 60% of our annual campaign funds raised come from this group, and we could not be more grateful for their commitment and loyalty to our campaign. These are the tried and true businesses who are really a part of the fabric of Cincinnati and really caring for our neighbors in their time of need. We are so thankful to have them as part of our family. All right, 25 to 21. Steve Shifman, Michaelman again. This is excellent. 20 to 16. Thank you guys so much. This is so wonderful. 15 to 11. I feel a little bit like David Letterman. This is getting really good. So we're down to the top 10. Let's celebrate, and please join me at home by clapping along. US Bank, number 10. Woo! Number 9, Great American Insurance Group. Thank you so very much. Number 8, Ohio National Financial Services. Thank you so much, Barbara, for your leadership and generosity. Number 7, Cincinnati Bell. Thank you, Lee Fox, for leading with so much passion over there. Number 6, First Financial. Thank you so much for continuing to lead the way. Number 5, Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center. Woo, thank you. Number 4, Western and Southern Financial Group. Thank you so much. Number 3, our friends at GE. Thank you so very much for your generosity. Number 2, Fifth Third Bank. Thank you again for your loyal support. We loved our virtual tour with you across the cities. And number 1 will be no surprise to you. P&G is at the top. This has been the year of all things P&G, and we could not be more grateful for your leadership, your support, and everything you've done to help our community. So thank you so much, everyone. We really, really appreciate your generosity. I have one more thank you for all of you, and that is for our wonderful engagement leaders. You know exactly who you are. You know that in addition to your full-time job, you've done this on the side. You have run campaigns in your companies, and we are so grateful for your passion and dedication. There are more than 1,000 of you, and we say thank you, thank you, thank you for living united. We would not be here without you. We are sending you a little something in appreciation for your amazing time and commitment, so look out for it. But we also have something really special for you today. We've called it on a few of you to help us deliver the United Way message. So I'm so excited to share this little video with you.
In Cincinnati, we have a way. A way of joining together with purpose, emotion, action.
A way of convening expertise, not as strong alone.
A way of merging common intent for greater outcomes.
A way of uniting.
At United Way of Greater Cincinnati, our way is to harness the collective power of resources and work together to achieve results that no one partner can achieve on its own.
That's a difference only we can make.
Our way is a rising tide, lifting families out of poverty, opening up educational opportunities, providing access to health care, and bringing relief in crisis.
Our way is a quilt, wrapping our communities in the warmth of hope. 137 partner organizations maximizing donor dollars to attack deep-rooted problems with comprehensive solutions.
Our way is a bridge, connecting the determination of over 300,000 individuals and families with the change they envision for themselves.
Now more than ever, it's time for our way, though we can do it.
In it together.
Accomplish anything way.
The power of many, greater community impact way.
The from hope to help, dollars to difference way.
This is the Cincinnati way.
Our way, the United Way.
Thank you, United Way.
Thank you, United Way.
Muchas gracias, United Way.
On behalf of the members of Zion Global Ministries, Northern Kentucky, Pastors Ken and Shelley, we truly want to thank the United Way of Greater Cincinnati. We thank you so much.
The United Way of Greater Cincinnati, the way to help.
I don't know about you, but I got a little choked up. Thank you so much. And now let me pass it back to David.
Thank you. I again want to thank and congratulate everyone. I mean, it was amazing just watching the list, whether it's the top 25, 1,000 engagement leaders, hearing the words from Steve as the board chair and Maura as the CEO. There's many other people that have helped in this campaign that have had huge leadership roles. The vice chairs were all amazing. So to Derek, to Jill, to Cynthia, to George, to Jeff, you all stepped in and did an amazing work with your teams to make it all happen. At the end of the day, this ended up being well over 1,000 people that were involved in leadership roles, engagement leaders, and a variety of other roles. And it just illustrates what happens when all of us can work together and recognize that we all have a love for our city and our community and a care for the humanity that exists and that was going through tough times. And we all understand that united, we can do almost anything, and the United Way is the way. And so we came together in a way that was special. We built incredible momentum, and momentum that we've really got to keep going. Unfortunately for many, we're not to the other side of COVID. For all of us, we're not to the other side, but the jobs that are impacted, families that are disrupted, schools that have been disrupted, creating problems for many families to deal with. All those reasons would say we've got to keep going. The needs in our community likely will continue throughout this year to be at a very, very high level. And first, to all the many agencies and nonprofits that are on this, both that United Way supports and they're joining us today, thank you for the work you do. You're up against, frankly, individuals that count on you in ways that many of us couldn't even imagine, and you're there for those folks. And you do the hard work. We try to help you by giving funding and some, when we can, volunteer support, but you really, along with your organizations, are the ones that meet the needs of our neighbors in need. So thank you for what you do. We didn't highlight as much, but the agencies that step up each and every day are really the heroes. I also want to recognize that there's one of our big leaders in the community that stepped up to lead the campaign for next year. And we want to keep the momentum that we have, the breadth of people that participated and are involved in helping to help as we go into next year. And I'm honored to welcome Steve Johnson as the 2021 campaign chair. For those that don't know, Steve is the chairman of the board, president, CEO of Cincinnati Financial Corporation. Many of you do know Steve if you're involved in the business community. Steve and I have already talked. We've tried to transition in as much as we've learned we want to share, and then he'll build on that and take it to new levels, working with Maura and her fine staff to make sure that we can come to the aid of the community on a going basis. Each year, we've got to continue to learn and get better, step up and step forward in ways that we lift the community and go to places that frankly we all hope for, which is everybody, every individual, every family has the support they need. So I want to turn it over to Steve and allow you to say a few words. And thank you, Steve, for being the leader you are and being willing to take the baton and lead the 2021 campaign.
Well, thank you, David. And obviously your leadership, your passion, your love for the city came through in a year when it could never be needed more. You were fantastic. I'm glad that nobody can see my legs right now because they're shaking. The shoes are so big to fill. You've just done a tremendous job. I'm extremely happy to be in a position to lead the campaign here in 2021. Obviously, as you mentioned, the needs of the community are not getting any less, and we all really do need to unite together, work as a team, work united to help out our community. And I pledge to you that I pour all my energy into it. I'm looking forward to working with everybody and really doing what we can to keep the momentum going and help our community in this time when it's needed so much. So I'm looking forward to the year, and at this point would like to turn it back over to Moira.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Steve. We're looking forward to working with you. It's going to be an exciting year. And really the story is not over, unfortunately. We responded, which was awesome, but we also know that our community, we need to help recover and revitalize our community. So we need to really make sure we continue to come together to build a strong safety net where families and individuals can find financial stability. We want to engage the community in ways that are different. We want to work with the community, in the community, and for the community. We are committed to make sure that children, families, and individuals are at the core of everything that we do here. And we will show up with humility and ask the community how we can help. We really are committed to joining with our partners across the region to really do transformational change. We need to drive and disrupt the current system, and we need to really think about how can we break down these systems and structures that keep our families, stuck from moving. So we're going to need you time and time again. We have a lot of hard work ahead of us, but I'm really confident, and because what we accomplished this year, when many people thought we wouldn't get there, we did, because we did it united. We're going to continue to share stories with you throughout the year so that you can hear and see the impact, and we encourage you to share them with friends, colleagues, family members, because we want people to join us in this journey. If you can't donate, volunteer. I often hear people like, I want to donate, but what else I can do? Volunteering is awesome. For those of you that know, I was a volunteer. I was a big sister to a foster child that changed my life and took me on a different pathway for my career, and I've never looked back. I've always been grateful for that experience. So we have a lot of excitement ahead of us. We have a lot of work to do as a community, but we know that you're there because we saw that. We also want you to know that we're here for you and or your family and your employees. People forget that not only are you given to the United Way, but the United Way is here to help you. If you think about our 211 line, we became the core of information during COVID. Right now, we're helping seniors get connected and information about their the vaccine. We have the tax prep program that is awesome. We have over 500 volunteers helping individuals and bringing, making sure that they can get their tax forms filled out properly. We have the discount drug program. So there's lots of things that we can do to help you if you know somebody that needs help. And the important thing is that we bring people together, we join arm in arm, and we think about what we can do. So please join us in this journey. And before we leave, we want to share something that we are really excited about. Somebody's going to put up something that we're going to share with all of our campaign folks, but it's a drawing by our local artist named Brandon Black. Isn't that just amazing? And so we think about our journey, and it was not straight and narrow. It was long and winding. So many people were part of this. So many people came together, and it really is because of all of you on this call and everybody else in the community that made this happen today. And so we're really excited, and we just think that was just a really neat way to capture what has been an unforgettable year. So again, thank you. Thank you everyone for your commitment, your dedication. Thank you for supporting us. And more importantly, thank you for opening your hearts for the community, because we provided hope at a time when hope was needed. So I hope you continue to stay with us and join us, and remember that united is the way. So thank you very much.